On today's show, ladies and gentlemen, so much has happened since I've been gone. Thank you all for being patient with me. We're going to talk about the #1 movie in all the weekend, Deadpool 3. Was it good? And how was it received, not just by Anglo-Saxon America, but also the culture, the Black Americans? What's going on with Power? We're in a hiatus for it. We'll see what all the rumors and everything that is on the street. And another big thing that happened while I was gone, Kamala Harris is now the Democratic presidential front runner. She hasn't been nominated yet. And Lord have mercy, I've always said the most important, toughest species ever created on planet Earth is a Black woman, and they is trying to attack this sister. We'll break down that and so much more. Lamont Tyson, Life Gains. We start right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
What's good, everybody? You in the building finally with the all knowing, all loving, all feeling, all seeing, all powerful. Damn all everything. Sexy as hell host. That's me, Lamont Tyson, bringing you this video. But also in this video, ladies and gentlemen, look who's joining the people. It's the Hammer, Moochie. How you doing over there, Mooch? As always, Moochie's on mute. And you're still on mute. Okay, well,
I said, hey,
oh, there she is.
Welcome back.
Hey. I appreciate
I was setting
Welcome
up my
back.
little things. So, yeah. So, I didn't hear you. I didn't know I was on mute. Welcome back. You done come back to a lot of things that has happened in the world. So, we getting ready to chat about it. Let's go.
We're going to get all of it done, ladies and gentlemen. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to subscribe to Moochie's channel. Download the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Major waves are being made in the podcast land. And I'm getting ready to have to reorganize some of my things because some of the podcast player I've been using, as well as my TikTok channel, the algorithm has soured on it. So I'm going to have to rebrand both of those. But for now, download that one. You can still follow me on IG. That's what my current TikTok look like. And that's what I look like on Twitter. Moochie, let's dive on in.
Let's do it.
My friend Moochie says she was unable to go see the biggest orgasmic movie for comic book nerds this year, which was this thing right here, Deadpool 3. And ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, it opened up to a record $205 million in the weekend, making it the 8th largest opening movie of the weekend. And I'm going to get Moochie's reaction to that. And then I'm going to give a mini review with very limited spoilers because Moochie hasn't seen it. But I am going to spoil one part that I think a lot of people...
I am going to see it, though. I am going to see it.
So I ain't going to spoil it, but I will spoil one part because the culture been itching for it.
Look, I already heard that what you call is in it, but I'm going to let you go ahead and talk, Lamont. Don't put no bracelets on. You know, don't put the silver bracelets on and border your conversation. Let loose.
Okay, well, since Moochie want all the spoilers, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you the exact spoiler sheet. First of all, let me give you guys the nerdy stuff. This film was written and directed by Sean Levy. Also, you had Ryan Reynolds on it, Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, Zeb Williams, produced by Kevin Feige, Lawrence Schuler, Donner. And for those of you that remember the Richard Donner series of Superman, the original one, that's who she is. And Ryan Reynolds produced it too. Okay. Moochie is talking about this brother showed up. They had a whole lot of cameos in this movie. Well-placed cameos, not the kind of shoehorn cameos that you see in some movies just to do it. But this popped up and the culture went nuts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is who you think. That is Blade, and that is Blade in the movie Holding the Gun, played by Wesley Snipes, all damn near 60 years old of age, him. in this movie. So when I told Moochie they had some very, very good cameos, that was one of them. Wesley was a part of a team that was kind of in a void being chased by Aliyah, the thing from Loki season 2 that was eating people. And so what happened was Deadpool's story arc in this film, he had retired from being a mercenary. He was done. He didn't want no more parts of being a mercenary. He had given that up and was trying to have a better life. But then the TVA that was also on the Loki series was chasing Deadpool because they wanted to throw him in the void with a bunch of other Deadpools because they felt like he could be the one to thwart some of the plans that they had. And that picture you see was a lie of chasing everybody. And so when he gets there, he figures out that they said there's an anchor being tied to all the universes. And that anchor being for his universe that he was trying to save was Wolverine, ladies and gentlemen. It was Wolverine. And so we get into that void, and him and Wolverine have to team up, and they have one of the best fight scenes, I think, in MCU history. There was a van scene. Yeah, there was a van scene where these two went at it, stabbing each other, shooting each other. That's the scene right there. It was grotesque up in that van. Do you hear me? And when they had beat each other up so bad, they both was passed out. That's when we got Wesley Snipes playing Blade, Jennifer Gardner playing Elektra, and we got Channing Tatum playing Gambit from the X-Men.
Wow, for real?
Oh yeah, man. They was a little team down in the void trying to avoid the main antagonist named Cassandra Nova, who was the dangerous, deadly sister of Professor X. And she didn't want to get out the void. She loved the void because she could use all her crazy ass powers. Her powers were similar to Professor X, except she had telekinesis too. And I'm not going to spoil that part because I want you to see what happens. But needless to say, this film got rave reviews from a lot of people because it still had the rom-com element. It had the humor, but I'm going to break down what I feel about the humor in a second when we bring in Monique Nicole. It had a good script, and of course, the acting was phenomenal. And before I talk about how the culture, us, Black Americans, will receive it, let me bring in Monique Nicole to the talk. Hey, Monique.
Hi, guys. Hi. I miss y'all. Miss you. What's up, Lamont?
What's going on? How you feeling today?
I am doing all right. It is a Monday, so.
Did you go see Deadpool?
I did not, but brother, you sold it, so I will be seeing it this week. So yes. Okay,
so I'm like I told Mooch, I'm keeping the spoilers down.
Thank you.
It was definitely a good movie.
Okay.
However,
I
just got to be real about this thing.
Okay.
Different audiences go to movies and experience movies in a different way.
Right.
Us as Black people, we're not a monolith. So some of us feel different ways about things. For example, I'm a comic nerd, and you two ain't necessarily comic nerds, which is fine. Right. But at the end of the day, you still can enjoy a good movie and say that it is a good movie for what it is. Okay.
Absolutely. And I'm a prime example.
I know some of the stuff, but not as intense as you.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm going to say on behalf of the Black people in the culture, if you're familiar with the comics and all the X-Men properties or movies, it will definitely hit home with you harder because a lot of the jokes and puns that they put into this movie kind of ties back to some of the stuff that was going on deep in the lore, from Marvel buying the Fox Marvel properties to the beef that was supposedly going on between Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds and why they wasn't working with him to give him a Blade movie, to just the fact that the last couple of years of Marvel have been terrible. They had all those kind of puns in the movie. But this is where it kind of goes a little left for Black people. Now, y'all, I'm not saying it's a bad movie because that's not what I said. It's a good movie. But when we get to the humor, okay, when we get to the humor, it was funny, but a lot of the jokes may not land on African Americans who are not into comics, nor African Americans who don't sometimes cross over and go into Anglo-Saxon American comedy. Okay.
I love how you said that. That was
now
perfect.
let me explain to you what I mean. There are a whole lot of F-bombs in this thing, as if you were drinking a beer with some high school white kids. That's not something that typically makes Black people laugh a lot, but white people, they laugh at that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of sexual references to doing a hand job. That's not something that makes Black people laugh often, but it chuckles the hell out of white people. Okay.
Is it like jackass humor?
There
Like,
is
like
so
I'm
correct,
equating it to that because the way you're talking about it.
the correct term, my white brethren tell me, because I'm diverse and I like to know people's culture, the correct term to use would be slapstick humor.
Okay.
There is a bit of slapstick humor in it. There's a bit of that. Now,
Okay.
having said that, it still won't take away from the movie for us in the culture. You still can enjoy the movie if you're not a comic fan and if you're just starting out watching these movies, because there is funny stuff in it.
Right.
It's not going to resonate with all of us the way it resonates probably with the majority of white America because of the slapstick nature of the humor. So having said that, the movie is phenomenal. The acting is phenomenal. The soundtrack is phenomenal. The script is phenomenal. The blind Betty in the movie, she's phenomenal. The dog, of course, they had to put that in there. He's phenomenal. Baby Deadpool is phenomenal. And a little bit of inside tidbits. Ryan Reynolds is either married or dating Blake Lively. I think he's married to Blake.
Married.
And she was in this film, but you won't see her face. She was Lady Deadpool in this film.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And the action is unbelievable.
Ooh,
For those that want to see Wolverine really turn it up, you got rated R on this thing. You got all the blood, guts, and glory that your little stomach can handle. So overall, on a life gain scale of 0 to 10, 0 being terrible, 10 being the best, this movie gets a solid 8.5 from me. Any questions do you ladies have about my review that I can answer? If you want to know any more spoiler material, let me know. How do you feeling now, Monique Nicole?
Oh, I'm still gonna see it. You sold me, so I'm definitely gonna see it. Definitely.
So that's kind of a look at
That's Channing Tatum's character.
Channing Tatum's Gambit. Yeah, he's in there. And if either one of you ladies saw Logan, the young lady that was like, she was probably 12 in that movie, Daphne King.
She's in it?
She came back as X-23 in this movie. Yep.
Okay, I'm sold. And I already know my son is here. This is me and him could do a movie and some dinners or something.
So Moochie, she was the leader of that team in The Void of Blade, Elektra, and Gambit. She was the leader of them. Yeah, so
I'm here for it. I've been into it like I said, when I stumbled onto your channel back in the day, it was like Power and the stuff and the Cody stuff. You know what you don't.
Yeah, I know how we get down. I know what to call. I know what the call letters are from my radio station.
Okay.
I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, have you seen this? Post your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to know. It was a big film. Some people are saying, did it save the Marvel universe? And I would have to say, you can't save something that didn't need to be saved. Marvel was fine, but they did have some down movies. This definitely picks it up, and it definitely continues on things that they're going to be doing in the future. There is a post-credit scene that you're going to want to stay and watch that makes it funny. And I didn't even reveal some of the other very important cameos that are funny and crucial to this story. I didn't even reveal all that. So post your comments. Let us know what you need. What you got, Moochie?
I wanted to ask you, do you think they're going to bring it back? Because now they talk about Mahershala Ali's not going to be playing Blade. So are they giving Wesley Snipes his original role back, who started this Marvel movie madness?
No, they can't do that, Moochie.
So what are they going to put him in the movie somehow, some way like that, or are they just bringing him back in another universe? That's what I ask.
I believe. Well, the way it ends would lead you to believe he's going to come back, but he's not going to come back as Blade. And if he does come back as Blade, he's going to be assisting a new Blade. Put it that way.
Okay, so that's where I was going with it. Thank you.
Right. It's
not a spoiler, but you answered my question.
Okay.
Pretty much. Post your comments, y'all. Let us know what you think. And before we get off this Marvel gravy train, something I was going to talk about last week that was a rumor that I was going to confirm, but I had too much going on last week, y'all, to get up here and talk and try to let my hair down. I'm still trying to fight through it now. However, they released information last week that they felt like Robert Downey Jr. was going to come back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and not play Iron Man, but play Dr. Doom. And I was going to talk about that last week. Well, since I didn't get to it, we've had San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. And in Hall H, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this.
We give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
New mask. Same task. What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
So, ladies and gentlemen, they have formally announced.
I'm feeling two ways about it.
And me too. I'm gonna let y'all go first because I'm feeling
two ways about this.
Go ahead.
Some of this is social consciousness for me that I'm feeling. So for those of you that are following me right now, and y'all's favorite word to hate is woke because you don't even know how to fucking spell it. You might want to wait till I get the power after this because I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I feel my thoughts in a minute. But on this one, I'm gonna see what the ladies feel. Moochie, you get first crack at this. How are you feeling about Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Dr. Doom in the MCU? And the next Avengers movie is going to be facing off with him.
I'm feeling two ways about this because I'm going to just say a person's name, Terrence Howard.
Okay.
And I feel like he kind of put him on, and then they like what happened with his thing. I got mixed feelings about it, and that's the reason why. But
so me too, partly Moochie. In part, I feel that way a little bit too. And I've heard other Anglo-Saxon based film review shows say that, you can't, it's not Robert Downey Jr. responsibility to help Terrence Howard get a job.
But he helped him.
If the story is true, because I don't know the story.
Yeah.
Okay. If Terrence Howard helped Robert Downey Jr. get back in good graces, it is a very, very penis move to not help that man get his thing straight. And I'm sorry, Moochie, the floor is back to you.
Nah, you good. You said what I wanted to say. And that's how I feel about it. If it is true. Okay. Because don't get me wrong, Robert Downey Jr., like Momo don't know this because she was a little bit baby. But
I know my history.
At that time, Robert Downey Jr., he redeemed himself.
He did.
You understand? He had a messed up past.
Yep.
And he was able to redeem himself, and now he's the face of Marvel. It's safe to say that. Am I right?
One of the top faces of Marvel. Yes,
he is one of the top faces.
He is the face.
He is the face of Marvel. Tony Stark. He's the face of the Marvel, the agendas, so on.
Highest paycheck. Highest highest paid.
Okay.
So I that's why I got my sort of feelings about this. And you know, they'll always make things a black or white thing, and it's not that. It's, you know, like one hand wash the other, both wash the face. If I help you, I hope you reach back and help me when I helped you. You understand?
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. So I need a little help from y'all.
Go ahead.
This Dr. Doom, this is a new character in the Marvel universe? Or this is an avenging old.
It's a comic book. If you talk to Lamont and you got time, he'll probably tell you the whole origin and where he came from and all of that. I can't give
It's a separate entity. So we are to understand, for those who watch the Avengers franchise, we are to assume and understand that Iron Man is no longer. He's gone, right?
It's like this. Let me explain to you the way they tried to set this up. They basically, so Momo, in the comics, they have multiverses. So in the comics, they think that if we have an Earth here, that somewhere in the universe, there's an exact mirroring image of us and the people in it. All right. Okay. And in the comics, Dr. Doom was one of the cornerstone villains in all the Marvel comics. But his main adversaries, the people he would always go at, was the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
And along the way, Dr. Doom would accumulate lots of power. He got his own country, Latveria. He was a politician. Think of him kind of the way Wakanda is, except for he's Latveria. Okay. He had that accident that gave him his powers, and he just wants to be left alone, don't want to be bothered by nobody else. And instead of him leaning good the way Black Panther did, he leans bad to have power. And that's what Dr. Doom is in a quick nutshell for people that don't understand comics.
Thank you.
Now, back to one question. I got a question. I'm sorry.
Back to Tony Stark.
Okay.
I'm to assume that he is gone.
You are to assume Tony Stark in this realm is gone, but not Tony Stark in another multiverse.
So is he going to be, the question is he Tony Stark's? Does he have Tony Stark's money? Because you know Stark Enterprise and all that other stuff. That's where I'm going with it. Is he going to still be the rich guy?
So yes, Dr. Doom is rich anyway. He like I said, he's the king of his country. But what I think they're going to do, I think they're going to have a rogue Tony Stark in one of the other universes, and he's going to assume the mantle and become Dr. Doom, because he's going to, instead of going really good like our Tony Stark did, they're going to have him go really bad and become Dr. Doom and want his own country and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so he's going to be really dark. So he's not going to be a good guy.
Oh no, he's not going to be a good guy. You can cancel that.
So when we see him on screen, we have to let go of Tony. Like when the other characters
let it go.
It's not Tony Stark. This is a completely different. Like we post analogy. So we supposed to go along with it. Like when we saw Bad Boys the other day, and they replaced the wife with chick. We supposed to just go along with it like that. Like, oh, this is a new okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like a policeman going to another police station after they done stuff.
Nah, not the same thing. So when I see him on my screen, he is not.
That would have been a good segue if he was talking about other stuff.
He's not Tony Stark becoming a different character. He is a completely different character off rip, and I should not associate Tony Stark with him at all.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he is. We don't know how they're going to set it up,
right?
But most likely they're going to have him as Iron Man in another multiverse, not where we know him from.
Okay.
And that Tony Stark is going to go angrily upset and rogue for some reason. Okay. And instead of being Tony Stark Iron Man, he's going to be Tony Stark Dr. Doom.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let us know what y'all think. Post those comments down below. Are y'all excited for this? Me personally,
Yeah, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying not to be a hater here. I kind of feel like we needed new blood. Why go back and get him to play Doctor Doom when we're so used to him being Iron Man? And since we've got this multiverse thing going, it would have been nothing to just have him come back as Iron Man.
Thank you.
But on that's the front side for us fans. The back side, we don't know contract negotiations. We don't know mental motivations. He might be tired of playing Iron Man and want to play a villain. I don't know, but I just kind of feel like they could have brought somebody else in, saved a whole lot of money. And my beef, socially consciously, is I just hate to say it. I'm sorry. Jonathan Majors has been pretty much cleared of everything that he was done wrongdoing. Now he got charged, but nothing that merits jail time. Nothing that merits, I think it was just public service and pay a fine. Nothing that substantiated he did the heinous things that was accused of him in the beginning. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. has had chance after chance after chance.
Exactly. If you picking that from I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you picking comparing those two, they was finding him in like houses, like crack houses.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. and he gets to fully be redeemed. Like nothing happened. He stole from his parents, all of this stuff. This is stuff y'all don't know because it happened in the early 90s.
I know. You forget.
So they'll be like, oh, that was years ago.
But listen to me. There's two things that y'all know more than me. One, he's white. He already gonna have an upper hand. Two, I know y'all might not agree, but time does play a factor. That was 20-something, 30 years ago. I feel like in due time, Jonathan Majors will have a redemption arc. I'm sorry. It's all about that. Hold on. It's already happening. Look how the Black community, Black women have embraced him. He was on stage. Iyanla Van Zant hugged him. He cried in her bosoms. He just got on an award show the other day and was crying to Megan Good how much he loved Black people. If you go on social media, if you read the blogs, if you read the comments, Black community is already forgiving him. Now, I'm not, as far as the Caucasian base, it might take him a little bit longer, but I don't think he's completely written off. I promise you in a couple more years, he gonna be back. That's how I feel. If I'm being naive, I'm being naive, but I just feel like the block is hot right now. They do it to their own kind too. When the block is hot, they will put their hands up. They got to give it time. I think in due time, he will be able to redeem himself.
I don't know.
Well,
think about it like this. If they could go back and dig up stuff about Bill Cosby, supposedly that happened 30 years ago, and tarnish his legacy, what makes you think he's really going to have a comeback like that? What makes you think that he's really going to have a comeback if they could go back and dig up a Black man's past?
Well, can we table this, Moochie? I don't want to. I don't want to.
I know. I don't want it to go off the rails either. So I'll
just say it like this. My point, Monique, to what you're saying is, I see what you're saying with Jonathan. I agree. However, Marvel right now, in terms of movies and money, is at the top 5 pinnacle of studios in the world, and that young man had an opportunity to be the main antagonist across a couple of screens at that helm. And that's not to say he's not going to get back there. I'm not saying he's not going to get back there. I mean, I think he is on the mend. All I'm saying is I'm lobbying for, if we're giving this guy all these opportunities, I want Jonathan I want everybody, not just Jonathan. So don't think I'm saying Jonathan, anyone, because I believe everybody can redeem themselves. You can. And Robert Downey Jr. has proven he's redeemed himself. Yeah. But also at the same time, let other people get these opportunities to redeem themselves too. Honestly, when they released Jonathan Majors' character Kang, it was not well received by the fans of the universe. And that wasn't Jonathan Majors' fault because he acted his ass off. He did a great job of convincing me of being crazy, good, bad, ugly, everything in between. They just didn't write the character well enough, and this could easily be said as a Marvel scapegoat to move on without Jonathan Majors. So all I'm saying is, let's offer equal opportunity to people who've messed up. That's all I'm saying. People in the comments, let me know.
I ain't saying nothing different from what y'all saying. I'm actually saying I think he's gonna be redeemed. And like Candy said, now I hope it's not gonna take 5 to 10 years. But I hope not. But yeah, I mean, I'm being positive about it. I already see it kind of in the works. I don't see him having to pay for this mistake 10 years from now. I really don't.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't.
That's what we thought with Wesley Snipes, and look how long it took for them just to put him back in that suit. And now now they're gonna be like he's too old to be a superhero. Yeah. So are they gonna do the same thing with him? Or are they gonna do what they did and bring Don Cheadle? He's kind of too old to be a black superhero. Is this the movement they making? You know how you sit back and observe things?
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't think so though. I definitely don't think so. I think that we will see Jonathan Majors back in the MCU. He's demonstrated too much talent. So he'll be back. It's just going to take time. That's all I'm saying. It'll take some time. All right, Moochie and Monique. The next lead goes to Moochie because we haven't talked power in a long time. So Moochie, what is the street saying about power? What have I missed? I got a couple of things I want y'all to look at, and I want you to kind of give us thoughts and theories on it. But first, go ahead and let us know what is being said on the streets about power.
Word on the street is and I really haven't been. I had backed off with the theories once they had the whole feud with Amari Hardwick saying something on a podcast and him and 50 going at it. But I think it's a ruse, y'all. They pulling over on us. That's my opinion with that part. Now I'm hearing that she might be going. Who you showing right now? I'm hearing stuff that she might get taken out. I'm hearing that King might take out Noma.
Oh,
shouts out to Brillo. I'm hearing a whole bunch of whispering in the streets.
Okay. I always listen to Moochie. I get my story from Moochie because, like you, Lamont, I took a, I don't know, I had a lot going on over here too. I took a break from the whole power, plus it's been off air. So, I kind of backed off for a minute, but yeah. I co-sign what Moochie said. I co-sign. Yeah.
You co-sign with me, Momo? You co-sign with me, Momo?
Oh, Lord. Okay. So I too have heard whispers and rumors, ladies and gentlemen, on these power streets that Effie might be kicking the bucket. I've heard. Now, will it happen in this moment? I doubt it. But the whispers and the tea leaves are telling me that Effie is going to kick the bucket.
Hold on. Let me turn on my crystal ball.
Oh, Lord.
Girl, we ain't seen that crystal ball in a minute, honey.
The hammer.
I done forgot
the hammer
she had it, girl.
My battery is dead.
Miss Cleo.
I gotta charge it.
Call me now.
So we're hearing that, but then Moochie, what is the tea leaf saying about this character?
I'm saying jail, yo.
Oh.
I'm saying jail. For some reason, I'm saying jail, and I think it's gonna be by one of her kids' hands.
You think still?
Oh.
Yeah, I can see Drew getting her locked up because he resents her right now. But he don't want to, what do power do when they don't want to, take somebody out, and stuff. What do? They put them in jail. What it goes to? Put Kanan in jail.
Listen,
right? I'm just saying.
I have to counter that a little bit.
Go to the blueprint.
Let me counter that though, sis. Before the last episode, I would have agreed with you. But now that Monet done softened up and she finally, for the first time, apologized to Drew, he softened up with her. He's, she's taking care of Diana and the whole baby. Like, I don't think the kids are about to backdoor their mom no more. Like I think that's kind of done. Like I think that beef between the kids and her is kind of done. Especially now that Detective Bright Eyes is, that he got the drop on Monet and it's like, all right, you're gonna have to work with me. Now that all of that is snowballing, I don't see the kids and Monet doing this anymore. I think they have too many outside enemies and things are happening. If Monet gets jammed up, it's not gonna be because of the kids. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
What say you?
I like how you call them Detective Bright Eyes.
Yeah, Light Eyes. Sorry, I'm gonna say Light Eyes. That's what I meant to say.
Oh goodness. Monique, I'm really out of answers because I have been so out of whack with like coming up with theories and movies and stuff like that. I don't know. I still feel disdain from Drew toward Mom, but he's the only kid in the group now that I feel has that disdain because she's shown Diana that she's soft on her because of the baby.
Yes.
And I still believe in my heart that even though Kane is sleeping with Noma and her big head, he's still gonna choose the mama. He's no matter how much helium he pump in her, he's still gonna choose the mama. Yeah. And so that would only leave something to happen with Dookie Dig and Drew. Dangerous.
But
go ahead,
can
Moochie.
we not show sympathy to Drew when they did them flashbacks and we saw what Monet put him through? Like, we don't got no sympathy for him. It's not to justify his current actions, but it's just to give you a little bit of reasoning behind the madness, No?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you look.
The boy from 12 years old, he wanted to go be a Picasso artiste. And she talk about some, nah, we gotta go do this. Nigga, what? You put your child, I'm sorry, Monet, I don't care what y'all say about Tasha. Monet is crowned the worst mother in Power Universe. Period.
Wait a minute.
Period.
She ain't worse. She is not worse than Rock. Okay. No, she's not worse than Rock.
She is worse than Rock.
She is worse than Rock.
10 times worse than Rock. And I will gladly tell you why.
Okay.
Raquel is a piece of work. I am not saying she's perfect. Lord knows she's not perfect. The difference and why I will have more respect for Rock is because Rock, for a long time, did everything in her power to shield Kanan away from that life. Now, she didn't do it perfectly because if it was me, I would have sent my child away. She wanted the best of both worlds where she effed up. She wanted to keep him close, but then not have him in the life, and you can't have it both ways. But her intentions as a mother, initially, she caved in, as we saw, because she realized he was not letting up. So she, we know what happened. That's the difference why I have more respect for Rock. Monet was having them kids cutting up Kokiana at 8 years old. She was having them drug deals at 9 years old. She done took her kid to a mother freaking trap house with a ninja, knowing with no backup, knowing that she could.
That was her backup. He was her backup.
Worse. Her child, Drew, was probably 12 years old. That's your backup?
Yeah, you better look. Boy, you better protect your mother.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It is
mental.
crazy. It is crazy.
Monet is the worst mother. I am so sorry.
Jump on in there, Moochie. I know you agreeing with everything Monique is saying.
I feel like she's the worst out of all of them because they all deterred them. You got to look at everybody's advantage. Where they be like, all right, I can't keep you from it, but I can show you how to not get jammed up. Or try to stay out of getting jammed up the longest. This is what you gonna do, little nigga. I'm just saying. Excuse me with the LN. All right. Anyway.
Oh, you good. You good.
But that's how she gotta tell him. Look, you want to be a knucklehead? I'm gonna show you to try to stay out of that.
Right.
The slammer for the longest. Because if you doing this, you're gonna be locked up within a couple of months. So yeah, I feel what you saying with they all bad because ain't no way. But I'm not gonna say you doing this, but let me show you.
Y'all hear the ladies somehow or another? It seems like they went on mute, or is it me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah, and we can hear each other.
Let me see what's going on because I can't hear y'all, but y'all can still hear me.
Yeah.
Let's see what the audience is saying.
Can y'all
Audience,
hear?
can y'all hear
I can
me?
hear Moochie. I can hear you.
Can you hear Monique? Can you hear Moochie?
Moochie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Make
hear
sure
you.
it's
I
not
can hear
my
all of
setting.
y'all.
Something has
I'm,
happened,
I'm just.
and I have
I hope
lost.
I hope it
See,
wasn't me.
we ain't even got to the good stuff yet. I ain't even got to the good stuff yet, and something is trying to block my sound. Let me.
No,
let me
they said
make
we
sure
can
it's
hear
not
all
my
of you.
show.
They can hear
So
us.
the audience is saying they can hear all of us.
They can hear all of
It-
us.
So
it's
for
like- I
whatever the
think it's
reason,
just on
I
your
can't hear
end.
y'all. So let me just make sure. Let me double check some audio settings real quick, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, y'all, I'm glad y'all see the light because, like I said, Raquel Thomas is a piece of work. She is not perfect. Lord knows she's
Been
not.
knowing it was time for me to get some more, but brother trying to make a movie here. Okay, so
Oh, your
I gotta watch
headphones
my
is done.
the best I can. Let's see what we.
Uh-oh.
Oh, your headphones.
All right, headphones. Let's do this. We about to
All
do it.
Y'all, I think they actually are shooting.
Okay, Monique Nicole say so. Okay, gotcha.
You
Yes,
guys,
sir.
can you hear me?
I got you. Yep.
What I was
Gotcha.
what I was saying is I feel like Rock and Tasha, they
Yeah.
tried to shelter their kids for the longest.
Yes.
But once they decided to get into it, she tried to with Rock, she tried to have Kanan take baby steps. But you know, you give somebody an inch, they want to take a mile. He wanted to take a leap into the game.
I heard
And
that.
we have to remember, Kanan was starting to cause a whole bunch of havoc and drama for Rock. I mean,
yeah, she had to clean up a lot of stuff that he messed up because he listening to he getting half parts of grown folks' conversations.
Yep.
That's where that's where everything was messed up with him. With Tariq, he just was fascinated by it because Kanan drew him in.
Yep.
Talking about telling his father's old war stories.
Yep.
So that's how I believe he got drawn in. So once Tasha felt like she couldn't stop him, of course, yeah, I'm going to show you.
So Momo, what is the street saying about Tariq? And who's going to be on his hit list in the second half of the show?
Baby,
What you been seeing on the streets?
You asking the wrong person. I told you I ain't been my ears ain't been to the streets. We got to get Moochie on this one. Now, if you, I don't know. I have certain theories, but I don't want to say it right now. I need to get my mind back into the power universe, and then we can have another conversation. You know what I'm saying?
What was your question, Lamont?
What is the street saying about what bodies is Tariq gonna collect? In the second half, is Effie gonna be one of the bodies he collect? What's the street saying, Moochie?
I feel like I'm hearing that something's gonna make him go dark. They're gonna take somebody from him where he gonna go dark, where you see him. If you thought he was like Ghost before, you're gonna see him in full Ghost mode. That's what I'm hearing. That's the word on the street. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for a video of my analogy.
Yeah. Make sure you subscribe.
You said the L for me? Go ahead, girl.
I had to give it to you, you know.
Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to their channels, y'all.
Now, I can tell you somebody who I think is going to be on that list.
Who's that?
A couple names who I think is going to be on the list.
All right, go ahead.
Throw some names.
Braden's girl gotta go.
Yeah, she gotta go. Yeah.
Gotta go. Sorry, Bookie.
But the question is Braden gonna do it, or is Tariq gonna do it? Is it gonna be a situation like? Remember what Tommy did? He didn't mean to do it,
he
but
didn't mean to though.
He put some hands around that neck and went to work.
It was the drug guy.
Is it gonna be because of the cocoa that he do?
Hey, the best way I can say it like this: you come out acting Holly, somebody gonna go Tommy on you.
I know that's right.
That's
right. Oh, write that down somewhere. That was good. That was good.
Hey, I'll never forget that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think. Post your comments on theories, stuff you've seen. I might get back up here and do a little talk about that maybe next week. But there's been so much going on. We now have to make y'all eat your vegetables with our show because there's literally people's freedoms, people's liberties are at stake, and we just got to talk about it. And we're at a crossroads opportunity to make great history in this country. And what am I talking about? It is now Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump.
Whew.
Joe Biden stepped down. He wasn't energizing the Democratic base. And since Kamala has stepped in, this chick literally in a week has raised somewhere near $400 million. Now, folks, some of y'all know me real deep, and y'all know I do have problems with all the money in politics. I do. And I'm disgusted when I see all this money that's being spent to try to sway politicians to favor rules to the way of the rich when the average person can't get things done the way they want it. We've got people homeless. We've got social programs that aren't helping people. Hell, we've got banks not giving people loans that could use it, that could uplift their businesses. So when I see that type of stuff, people make no mistake, I'm frustrated. However, that's the way they play the game until we, the people, vote and get it out of the game. But she raised the most money in history. She's got all these people and caucuses whipped. And what do they do? What are they trying to do to what I consider to be the strongest organism ever created on God's green earth? African-American woman is the strongest creation, considering everything they've had to endure in America. She's going up against this guy, Donald Trump, who could care less about women. Really. No more than what you can do for him. I could literally make the argument that's his whole relationship with people in general. Well, en route to having to deal with Trump, my crew, take a look at some of the gaffes and behaviors of Trump, and yet people still want to vote for him. Take a look at this.
Kamala Harris has a secret admirer. It's Donald Trump, who gave her $6,000 to run for Attorney General of California. Here's one check for $5,000. Guess who else gave Kamala Harris money to run? Ivanka Trump, Donald's daughter. Well, guys, you know, if Kamala Harris is good enough for Donald Trump, she's good enough for America.
President Trump, he made the commencement speech.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then it turned out it bore quite a strong resemblance to Elle's graduation speech in the law.
Yeah. It did.
Yeah. Was it Jimmy Fallon who found this out? I know it was all over the internet.
I don't know. It was, maybe it was on Jimmy's show.
If you haven't seen it, it's sort of unbelievable. We'll just show them the thing.
That we take our next steps into the world.
You must go forth into the world.
It is with passion,
Courage
of conviction,
courage in your convictions.
and strong sense of self.
Be true to yourself.
We did it!
I did it.
Have you not seen that?
No. I've never seen that. I've always fallen down YouTube rabbit holes, and I missed that completely.
It's true. He is better when he sticks to the script.
Do you know how that happened, or is he just a fan of the film?
I'm sure he's just a big fan.
All right, Momo, you get first dibs on that. As we get ready to talk about what Kamala Harris and her strategy is going to be to win this White House, you've seen small snippets of what America remembers during Donald Trump's era. Monique, why is it that so many people are adamant that they want to vote for a convicted felon multiple times and go back to just having pure mental mania under the presidency of Donald Trump again?
Every time I see footage from January 6, 2021, my stomach hurts and I get angry. Like, I was laughing, but with the Elle Woods and all that stuff, him copying. Right. But then as soon as you put that clip up from January 6th, if you could have seen my face, my whole demeanor changed. I don't have the answer to that because I ask myself that all the time. It's asinine. I don't know. I know how we got here, and he plays a good part in how we got here, but we've gone backwards, you guys, and I'm very scared. Like, I'm very scared. Like, years ago, this would have never have been acceptable, ever. Ever. The fact that he played a part in January 6th and is still able to run for president is asinine. It's alarming. It's disturbing. It's questionable. I question everything about government. I mean, I always had an issue with government, obviously, but now when you talk to other people from other countries, I feel like our government is just the credibility, whatever little credibility we had is really at the bottom of my shoe at this point. And I don't know how we get back from this, Lamont. I really don't know. When you get so low and in the gutter, right? What does it take for us to get out of this?
You want me to tell you what a lot of people are saying?
But my thing is, it went so far, okay, that I just feel like when things go too far, I don't want to say never, but it's going to take a miracle to get it back. That's how I feel, because he poisoned the system. He poisoned civilians. You know, I've lived in the South for quite some time, you guys, and I'm telling you, in what you guys already know, when he ran for president in 2016, it's like he evoked some type of thing, and the people who were racist and had this disgusting mindset, they just came out the woodworks and they became so bold. And I've never seen that boldness, even being in the South. There was still a level of decorum that people had, and that's gone.
Okay. How do you feel about Trump, Moochie? And
it's a level of decorum because people feel really threatened now. You gotta feel threatened if you gotta bring out this much hate.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta be afraid if you bring out this much hate towards another person. And this is not the first time that Donald Trump has used a movie to use a speech. Check out, he used the bee movie. A movie with a bunch of bees. What? He used the bee speech.
I gotta look that up.
You think the people that follow you are stupid and they believe anything.
They are.
Where you could quote something from a Disney movie and Legally Blonde and think nobody knows where the speech came from. You know, you hear something like, damn, this sounds familiar.
No, but Moochie, the problem is he has blind followers. It's a cult following. Did y'all not see that bull crap
at the convention where they had the stuff like this?
Let me get my where my
that's how they had their ears?
They had them that I cannot believe that.
Look, this is how they had the gauze.
They had the fake paper gauze around their ears. I just could not believe my eyes.
And he telling people he got his ear shot off.
Oh, there was so much blood everywhere.
Yeah, and the capsule that you burst when you went down underneath the podium and put that on your ear real quick.
Okay, now y'all. Now the FBI has came out and said that the bullet did graze his ear,
and that's cool. That's cool.
Right.
He still got a cult following who look.
Yeah,
like
I agree. Now, my issue with Trump is to some of what both of you guys have said, but it's more so to what Monique said. She just didn't say it as explicit as I'm gonna say it.
Please.
The problem is he was able to peel the veil off people's blanket of courteousness and just reveal their outright misogyny, racism, and hate toward women. That's what he did. In terms of the way the government apparatus is established, he didn't change that. He just went in there and just pulled the hell out of it. Just pulled every hair out of it the way it is. Like all these underwritten rules that people used to have, he just said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And it's wrong. And then when we get to the point where you need to stop him, he can't be stopped because we have to wait on the Republican Party to help defend the country. And they are too consumed with wanting power in order to do anything to stop him. And so that leads me to Kamala Harris and what she can do and what this setup is. You've got the multiple convicted felon versus a tough as nails, charismatic, smart as a whip prosecutor. And let's see what strategy they have been unveiling against the Trump campaign over the last couple of days. Take a look at this.
He sent it back to the States, to be fair.
Let's be very clear. He is proud of the fact that he demolished the national right to choose in this country, period. And also, as you know, the Republican Party continues to be interested in a national abortion ban.
Which he's disavowed completely.
Yeah, he's disavowed a lot of things. I don't believe him.
You think that
he lies all the time.
You think that his pledge that he would not pass a national ban is one that
it's one that's going to go down with most of the promises that he's made and broken. The false message of the RNC was that this is leading to an increase in crime.
Well,
and I think it's really important that we talk about crime.
Have been very high profile about people.
Of course,
there are individual cases illegally,
but this is my
people
point,
would still
right?
be alive.
Trying to make people think that crime is up when crime is down under Joe Biden and crime was up under Donald Trump. Now, I don't know how often that gets reported on this network, so if you're watching this at home, do yourself a favor and look up the data.
Well, we invite that.
Great. So if you look this up at home, you will know that crime went down under Biden and crime went up under Trump, and I think the violent crime for sure. So I think the really important thing to ask is, why would America want to go back to the higher crime that we experienced under Donald Trump?
Okay, but
unlike Republicans, right, who in Trump's personality cult will take a look at Donald Trump and say he's perfectly fine, even though he seemed unable to tell the difference between Nikki Haley and Nancy Pelosi, even though he's rambling about electrocuting sharks and Hannibal Lecter, even though he is clearly older and stranger than he was when America first got to know him. They say he's strong as an ox, leaps tall buildings in a single bound.
Well,
we don't have that kind of warped reality on our side.
Well,
on the contrary, the president confronted that reality in what must have been one of the most difficult decisions for an American president to make ever. And he did something that I don't think Donald Trump could even conceive of doing, which is putting his own interests aside for the country. There is a national right to choose in this country, law of the land, for 50 years, which the vast majority of Americans believe was the right thing to do. But Donald Trump made a promise when he was a candidate, one of the few promises he actually kept, by the way. You know, he didn't keep his promise of 6% economic growth. He didn't keep his promise to drain the swamp.
He did have a pandemic to deal with.
But even before the pandemic, America went into a manufacturing recession, which really hurt places like where I come from in the industrial Midwest. But anyway, my point is, he broke his promise for that kind of economic growth. He broke his promise to pass an infrastructure bill, right? He said he would do that. He failed to do it. The Biden-Harris administration got it done. He even broke his promise to that January 6th mob when he said, I will be at your side when you march down to the Capitol. But he actually did keep two promises. He kept his promise to destroy the right to choose in this country, and he kept his promise on tax cuts for the rich.
Ooh.
Yeah, Buttigieg was cooking. Now, I must kick this off with you, Moochie.
Yes.
Two of the fundamental principles the Harris team is going to push, that they're going to do: giving women the right to choose. That's one major issue. Getting back to a point where we have some kind of control around the Supreme Court, because they have just lost their mind doing all this ridiculous stuff. And the other thing that she's going to be trying to do is help people understand that, as he said, Donald Trump did give these great tax cuts to the rich and handed down to everybody else these like $1,400 checks, which is absolutely nothing. why certain tax increase on certain blankets of income help the country. What do you have to say as to what she is about to be trying to embark upon in making history and trying to help heal this country from the stuff that we've been through over the last, I'm gonna say, about 6 to 8 years?
I feel like we're in a situation again where we have to vote for the lesser of the two evils.
Isn't that always the situation?
It is the situation, but she has a checkered past as well,
which they all do.
They all
and
do.
We already know she was a prosecutor, so certain things she did to when she was a prosecutor, it doesn't sit right with me. And I want to trust her, but it's really hard. But like I said, we in a catch-22 situation. I wish it was a person that wasn't in either party that we could put our trust in, because I don't trust neither of the two, because I feel like it's two sides of it. I feel like they're both set the same side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just,
I'm sorry.
It's right now we have to look at whose policies is going to benefit us. And right now, everything that Trump is talking about has no benefits for Black people. They trying to take us back to the time of Jim Crow, and he's gonna use the migrants where they want us to be fighting these migrants, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing. They're using the divide and conquer thing. They're already using race. Now they're gonna have these migrants, and they're saying, oh, they're taking your jobs and all of this other stuff. So I feel like we really need to look at the policies that they're pushing, and you have to vote for what benefits, what is really going to benefit us. And are they going to come through with their promises? Most of the time they don't. Trump ain't come through with nothing. He said he was going to build the wall and they was going to pay for it. It's incomplete. They climbing that wall. They walking in between the wall, not even climbing it. So it's just like, he's saying all the good things. He had the audacity to tell these people, to tell some of the people that in the deep South that he was gonna bring back coal, and they believed him. So it's just like, like I said, you gotta look at the policies that they're pushing and then decide who you want to vote for. I'm not gonna say pick Democrat or Republican or anything like that. You have to look and see who's pushing what and what is going to really help this country and benefit this country. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. And I'll kick it to Monique like this to just follow up on some things Trump said here recently. He was giving some kind of speech telling people that after this, if they vote him in office, they won't have to worry about voting anymore.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
I'm assuming some of that has to do with the dictatorial powers the Supreme Court has anointed upon Trump by basically saying a president can't be prosecuted for criminal acts.
Mm-hmm.
That too. So, they're gonna let all of this that happened with this Sonia Massey case. That means they'll be able to walk up in people's house and take them out and be immune to it. No trouble at all.
My point, the thing that I'm giving to you, Monique Nicole, as Moochie is trying to be so ambivalent and tell you not how to vote. I'll say it like this: we have a history of what we're getting from Trump, and Trump moves in the way of a dictator. Absolutely. And if people like to be told what to do, you're voting for Trump. If people like to be controlled by a dictator, you're voting for Trump. If people like mass hysteria and people trying to overthrow government. Now, mind you, I want to see government change too. I do. But I don't want to see it overthrown by a bunch of people that already don't like Black folks in the first place and then have it replaced with them. I don't want to see government overthrown. But when you're voting for Trump, that's what you're voting for. And these are not innuendos. This is not me making stuff up. This is what has happened under his watch. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, Monique, I give the floor to you.
I don't know what to say. There's so much to say, and it's just, I already share with you, Lamont, politics has become very heavy for me. I very much so still have PTSD from 2016 and the years that followed under Trump's reign. Some of the comments are disturbing to me. Listen, y'all, I'm voting for democracy. I mean, Lamont really said it perfectly. It's just, you know what you're getting with Trump and then some. And the things that he's trying to implement, even though a lot of them are probably going to be false promises. Like Moochie said, he promises a lot and don't be backing it up. But why would you, as a Black person, especially a Black man, want to vote for someone who does not care about you or your kind and is willingly and openly saying that he's going to give police immunity when you already see how we get treated? You already see how they kill us. You already see what happens to us, and you want to vote for someone who has that type of mindset, that dangerous mindset. So you think if it's you or your cousin or your homeboy, you think Trump gonna give you grace? So you as a Black man gonna go vote for him. You think if it happens to you, your son, your child, your cousin, your brother, your homeboy, if they get hemmed up by the cops and they get their head blown off, you think Trump gonna come save you?
Well, let me help you out with that, Monique Nicole, because I can give you the innuendo into not just Black men, but a lot of men that a Trump party brings.
But this is the thing, Lamont, and I don't mean to be rude, but I don't care about what white men think because I know what white men think. I have an issue with Black men who follow that same dangerous mindset. A couple years ago, I sat in, this is when Chris Cuomo just got his show on the News Nation, whatever that show, whatever the station is called. And I went for a taping, okay? Call me naive before, maybe I was naive or living under a rock before. That night was the first night that it hit me how many Black men are for Trump. I was so shocked. I was privy to conversations with Black men in that room. In that room, it was every demographic, every age group, and they let us talk freely. They wanted, you know how these tapings are when they want to see the spectrum of what people think. And that was an eye opener for me. And that's why I don't mean to be rude and I don't mean to come from my Black brothers. I love y'all, but we got to call a spade a spade. I don't care what the white man think because I know what the white men think. I have a problem with Black men who are being brainwashed into either voting for Trump or the percentage of Black men who say, I'm not voting for Trump, but I'm also not voting for Kamala. That is still dangerous to me.
Yeah, to not vote. I agree with you. It is dangerous to not vote.
Because you don't see the bigger picture. You don't, to me, if you say I'm not going to vote for either, you don't see the bigger picture then. And what we're really up against.
All right. So I'll let you have your say. The reason why a lot of Black men are falling right in line with white men and not voting and supporting Trump is because a couple of things. Number one, the Trump candidacy Project 2025 and Trump's own equivalent Project 47, which is the same damn shit, just same gravy warmed over, is because part of that agenda is putting women back in their fucking place. Yep. Women lead the nation in education. And right now, there are more Black women in this country that have more education than any other group. And when that happens,
you know why that is.
Hold on. I mean, you don't have to tell me, but I know. And by doing that, a lot of the men have been displaced. And a lot of the men can't force women to do their bidding in the households anymore because they have choice. And so, yeah, men want to see women put back in their place, have to grovel at their feet, and not have as many choices as they once had because they've gotten so much education. That's one thing that both the Black men and the white guys want. And you don't have to take me for an example. You can just go read Project 2025 and all the bull jive in there that's setting women back. That also includes reproductive rights. And someone said that you can go to the states. Well, that's bull jive because you can't go to every state. There are states that's saying no to the shit. And people's having babies nationwide. That should be a federal law. They don't give me none of this states' rights shit because they tried to pull that with slavery. and saying it was a states' rights thing, but we fucked that shit up and said hell to the no. So that's why a lot of men are falling in line with Trump, Monique, and then they're trying to do it under the guise of the Bible. The Bible said the man should be the head of the household. Okay, great. But if it ain't no man in your household, who becomes the head of the household? That woman got to do it. And then if a man is fucking up his job as head of the household, the woman pull her bootstraps up. You don't just get the mantle handed back to you. You got to prove yourself. So that's why a lot of people are going that route, Monique Nicole. But more importantly, I still land on, is people's pocketbook more important than the thing that they have been telling us to have pride in for so many years? Freedom, patriotism, and democracy. We've been told since we stick our head out of our mama's vaginal lips that this country is about freedom, democracy, and being a patriot above money and all that. But we knew that shit was a lie from the rich. We knew it. And this lie has infiltrated the GOP's fan base. I call them a fan base because that's what they act like. This is some funky reality show. So much so that they got them believing that all you need to do is let the rich do what they want to do. They're going to trickle down money to you, and you someday will reach this lofty place where we're at. It don't work like that, ladies and gentlemen.
They're going to keep moving the goalposts.
It doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. So my point today in this conversation, if you really believe in freedom and democracy, why are you voting for Trump? He done showed you he's okay with an insurrection. He done showed you he's okay with getting dictatorial powers from the Supreme Court. And then the minute after he got that power, the next day, he's filing motions to get out of his criminal charges, which brings me to the fact he's a criminal, convicted, and you still voting for him. But yet people who cross that border ain't convicted of shit. You're willing to say that they the problem with crime in America when y'all is about to try to vote a person that's got multiple felonies on his record into the White House. That's my closing argument. And we'll get on out of here with that. So Moochie, what you got going on your channel the rest of this week so the people can know what we're looking at?
Okay, please come and check us out Wednesday. And Wednesday is Mayor Kingstown. We're going to be talking about that. I also be talking. I also have a movie night with the ladies that's coming on Thursday. The movie will be put in the community tabs, and also, I just did a reaction video for Lestat, Interview with a Vampire. They just introduced Lestat for season 3, Lord. So it's like a teaser. So I did a reaction to that, and I am going to be talking about presumed innocence, so we'll be talking about that too. It's a couple of things because it's a lot of stuff on TV, so just keep y'all notifications on and put it on all so you know when I go live and I upload a video. Thank you.
Oh, and what you got going on, Monique Nicole?
Well, I am currently regrouping and re-strategizing my channel. So as of right now, I am not sure what is happening this week. I might do some type of hot topics, current event video this week, or I might also do like a life update video this week. I will definitely do something, but I'm just not sure what it will be specifically. So stay tuned. All
right. And ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to get interviews for like some of the shows and things we're covering. It's been rough. A lot of these actors are on hiatus right now. And so it's been a decent time, but it's been hard trying to coordinate with everybody, but I am trying to get some. And then we've got Bel Air coming back on August 15th, which I will be doing some coverage on that show too. So, you know, just keep your notifications on. I will be back on this week and I will be dropping some videos. But until then, please subscribe, share me with your friends. And until that next Sex is Hell video, I'm out.